First of all, you said that you didn't get the title shot because maybe the fans didn't care as much. Do you feel let down by the fans or the UFC?
Um, I don't know. You know, uh, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be somebody I'm not. I'm always going to be true to myself, and I'm not going to try to. Oh, you should have talked more crap, or you should have been loud. It's like not my personality. My personality is just a quiet person, and you ask me a question, I'll answer it, and I do all my talking in the ring, and that's why I'm flashy. That's why I like to fight like that, because that's the way I fight. And if that's not enough, then oh well.
It's too much of a sport and less of a entertainment. The opposite. It's too much entertainment and less of a sport.
I think so now. You know, like it's starting to move towards that, and you know, it's just a different generation of fighters. You know, I come from a time when we were expected as it was still becoming mainstream when I came up in the sport. So you were expected to act accordingly, and I come from a bad. I used to get into trouble, and I changed my life with this sport and become a better person, become a role model. You know, I mean that's huge. With the people who are going out there and talking crap, like people like Mayweather and people like Conor, like what kind of a role model are you? Honestly, you know, I get to chase your dreams, yeah, but at what point? Like never once have I stepped on anybody to get to where I am. You know, the only thing I've done is beaten other people that wanted to beat me, and we shook hands and we agreed upon a weight, we agreed upon the rules, and we fought and we said who is better. That's not stepping on somebody. That's a legitimate way to battle for something. You know, I've never like tried to talk down on anyone or did anything like that to do it in an unrespectable way.
Cub Swanson joining us here on MMA latest. Cub, first of all, how are you doing? I imagine it's been quite a long week since travelling back from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas was a long week in Thailand. It was awesome to be with the fans and then being here. I knew it was going to be a tough few weeks, but I'm holding up.
What stuff did you actually get up to in Vegas? I saw you were hosting some sort of viewing parties on the night of UFC 189. What else?
We did pool parties. We did a mansion party. There was a lot of Bud Light parties, which was cool because there were all these. Yeah, yeah. So of course it was like all you can drink, and so I was like, okay, and that ended up being up till late at night, and then they called me early in the morning and say you got this, this, and this, and I'm like, okay, let me get some coffee, and I'll be there. So it was. I lost my voice, and I actually got skin taken off my thumb from signing autographs, and I lost my voice from talking to fans.
More people wanting to talk to you here in Scotland. I see you're going to be a bit of a fan favourite wearing that SFA shirt you got on there.
For it, because yesterday we did a seminar with one of the local gyms, and they were nice enough to give us gift bags, which has been a first for me. And this was one of the things, and I thought it was like super cool. So we decided to wear it and kind of show support back.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a whole load new Cub Swanson fans this weekend. Talking briefly about the card this weekend, is there anyone you're actually looking, particularly forward to seeing on the card?
I've been able to meet a couple of the guys just in the hotel, and it still to this day kind of makes me laugh when these guys are saying they've been huge fans of mine forever. So seeing these next generation of guys coming in, it's pretty cool. And so to see these guys perform and see, okay, who's the next superstar? Because I love seeing these guys come out of the different countries, because I've come from the U.S. and there's studs everywhere, So to see these guys popping out from different countries when I've been traveling has just been awesome. I'm really cheering for there to be like a superstar out of every country.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the current generation. Obviously, last week, Conor McGregor winning the UFC featherweight title off, the interim title, I should say, off Chad Mendes. What were your thoughts on that fight? Did you enjoy watching it? And just your thoughts on Conor McGregor as now the interim champion?
Yeah, he's not really a champion. It's kind of like a pretend champion, but yeah, he won the fight. He fought smart. He did what he had to do. He was getting beat up, and he was patient and he waited. When he was attacking the body, it was pretty smart of him. But he definitely got beat up in the rounds that Chad had it in him. Took it on short notice, and Conor was the better man at the end.
What do you think of his chances in a unification fight against Jose Aldo then?
in that fight. But you know, I know he'll have a lot of fan support, but the Brazilian fans are pretty insane too. So I'm sure it'll be a wild crowd. But yeah, I don't think he beats Jose.
And what about your own plans in the division as well? Obviously, you're ranked number 6, so you're not exactly far off the title shot yourself. Well, what are your plans for the next year, and how do you plan going about getting yourself in the mix for that title?
I don't know. You know, I don't know if I even care. You know what I mean? Like, I was playing that game and trying to get the title fight and never got it. And that was a little bit of a damper in the mood. And it really just made it unfun for me. Winning all my fights and enjoying life a little bit, being able to buy things that I've wanted my whole life, like a home. And being able to be financially stable was awesome. But having to beg and ask, hey, you know, am I going to get the title fight even though I fought for it 3 times? Like, that wasn't fun, you know. And I just, if I do fight again, it'd probably be next year, and it'd be for the love of it.
Is it fair to say that you think that you've got some reflecting to do, I guess?
Yeah.
Yourself, is
Yeah.
this still the right thing for me?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I know I can perform. I know I can go out there and do it. It's just with the injuries that I've had to ask myself, like, is this, you know, how much is too much? And that's just a fair question. That's a personal thing for me. And you know, I've had a lot of people say, please don't quit. It's like, no, I'm not quitting. You know, like that's not in me. You know, it's just a fact of how many broken jaws you're gonna have, or how many times you're gonna break your hand. Like I have a hard time opening bottles of water. You know, I can, you know, these are all the new ones. So I can hit like a truck, but I have a hard time opening things to cook meals, you know, and that's just because I've done so much damage. But I did to myself, you know, and it's just at what point is it too much, and that's just a personal question.
So how long do you think you're going to give yourself just time to think on that? You've got the rest of the year, I guess.
The year I want to get back in there. I want to train on things that I feel like I can improve on. That to me is the challenge, you know, the challenge I put on myself. I want to be better. And that's been my journey the whole way, is become a better martial artist, become a better person. And that's what I've been trying to do this entire time.
Okay, thanks a lot for your time today, Cub. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cub, you, Conor and Joe Rogan as well have criticized you a little bit for coming out with your boxing coach and maybe not focusing that much on MMA as a whole. Do you agree on that, and what do you think about it?
I think it was a pretty stupid comment to say. I think it was... it's just something he said and people flew with it. But the reality is I didn't even have my boxing coach in my corner, and his brother, it came to wrap my hands and to help out, and Greg Jackson was in my corner. But Greg Jackson refuses to wear the microphone because he doesn't want to be the center of attention. So they mic'd up my other boxing coach who wrapped my hands, Antonio Diaz, who's a good friend of mine. So for them to criticize me on that was a stupid statement.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can I just get one question in?